Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. First, we want to thank God for waking us up. I'm having a bad allergy morning, y'all. I'll tell y'all about it in a minute. Let's ask Alexa what the weather is today here in Charlotte. Alexa, what's the weather today here in Charlotte? Alexa, what's the weather today here in Charlotte?
Right now in Charlotte, it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast has partly sunny weather, with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 47 degrees. By the way, any time is a good time for unwrapping presents. If you'd like some gift ideas, try saying something like, "Alexa, give me holiday gift ideas for home."
Thank you, Alexa. I'm having a bad allergy morning. I did a TikTok yesterday with my fur on. And y'all know I got bad allergies. So anytime I put on an animal, I get sick. That's why I don't wear it much. I mean, not because it's hot down here in Charlotte. You really don't need it that much, but it just makes me sick. The only way I don't get sick unless it's fox fur, that fake stuff, then I'm okay. But when it's a real fur, I gotta take allergy medicine. It's like it's difficult. Anyway, today first I wanna give my condolences to the baby. I heard yesterday, through a couple of people, about his brother, but I wasn't sure until I heard it on the radio. However, I still haven't seen him talk about it or anything. But sometimes the media could be lying. Something could have just happened on that nature, and they just took it to an extreme. So I just wasn't sure. But I'm I've heard it all over the place. So I must give my condolences to him and his family and whatever they're going through at this time, and this is why I make my podcast, because we never know what people are going through, and you never know who may come across it and listen, and it just may help them get better, with whatever they're going through, and help them, just get rid of the negative thoughts that they have. And that's what Private Friend Incorporated is designed for. We're here to help people realize their self-worth, love themselves, and try to get rid of any issues they may be having and direct them to doctors that's needed. Now, there's a problem here in Charlotte, that we're going through, and I need to get with Cooper on this. I was trying to wait for the election be over with, but I gotta write him a letter and let him know how hard it is to get a mental health appointment here in Charlotte, and a lot of people need mental health here in the state. In the city. I don't know about the state because I haven't been everywhere in the state, but dealing with the people here, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, there's a lot of people in need of mental health help. So with that being said, Cooper needs to really get on it, and I'm glad he's our governor, because I've been writing back and forth and, telling him things that's been going on here in Charlotte, and he gets to work and try to fix it. So yeah, I will be touching base with him on the mental health side of things, because I see some things here that's just unreal. People just can't control themselves, and now that we have social media that's showing this stuff, it's rubbing off on the kids. People reading, not only just here in Charlotte, but everywhere. But you got to be able to have access when your mind start playing tricks on you, and that's what we're going to talk about today, compulsive behavior. People, matter of fact, let me take my allergy pill. I knew I was going to suffer. And see, that's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to see, like on a TikTok, they're This is what I'm gonna tell y'all what Instagram and Facebook could do to me. Okay, and they been seeing me do TikToks. They know what things I may hold on to, like a favorite, or I may like. So what they do is, this is what their job is in their office. What they do is they take stuff that's uh, based on you, or if they want to know something, and they will freeze your Facebook or your Instagram on that particular page so you can focus on that. This is what they do. Okay? And they go in, the same with any other app, like with the TikTok as well. If they know that you saved a certain thing, they want you to do things a certain way. So they all work together, but it plays part on the mind, They see me put my post up there with me dancing with my fur on. They want to see if I still have it. Yes, I still have it. Why wouldn't I still have it? It's mine, However, the same with my furniture. Just because I don't go in my living room, don't mean I don't have furniture. You know what I mean? So these are the things that they do in order to see if you're still at that level of life, which doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? But they do it anyway. So in order for me to get my music and get my stream going the way they want it to be going, they want me to do these things. So the fur was one of them. They wanted to see if the fur was still here, but now I'm being sick. I'm sick because of you idiots. Okay? Because a lot of people lie, and I get it. These rappers lie so much, it makes this other people look bad. You know what I mean? And I get it. I understand. But that has a lot to do with compulsive behavior as well, because they're doing things to try to make money for their streaming platforms, but it's actually hurting us. And this is why we need to actually get off of them. And I'm going to talk about that in another podcast. But we need them in order to make, to share our products, to, just market ourselves. But they make it so difficult because they control our stream. And whatever they know you're going through, they will make you suffer, some people, and it's terrible. It's just terrible. And that's why I tell people, and a lot of the new, I'm not going to say the newer generation, the 13 and under, I'm talking about like the teenagers, they just don't get on social media because it ruins their minds and they know it. So, you ask, I'll be out in the field every day. I talk to these teenagers. And I said, well, connect with me. You got a Facebook? No. I don't have no Facebook. Don't want no Facebook. What about Instagram? No. Just take my number. That's the way they doing things because people are getting tired of the nonsense that they have to deal with and that they see. So we do know the next generation in high school right now will end this thing. Okay, they will learn how to act because they're gonna lose when y'all people start dying off. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose people because the newer generation coming up don't want to deal with it. They just don't want to deal with it. And I get it, I want to talk about compulsive behavior. Compulsive behavior can be a mental disorder. Okay, now they got this thing now, everybody has this compulsive behavior. And they don't realize that having a compulsive behavior is a mental disorder. Okay, it's a mental issue. So now y'all running around talking about I got OCDs like it's a game, and it's actually a mental disorder, a major mental disorder, because that means you cannot control yourself. Okay, you cannot control your emotions. Okay, and your feelings. When you can't control your feelings, that's a bad sign. Okay, now you need to go on medication. So for those that's playing the game, you need to stop because it's not a joke. I feel like y'all making fun of people with mental disorders. Okay. Now, compulsive behavior can come along with anxiety. Okay. It's a 60-second thing. And it can actually, for the people that really, really have it, it can actually destroy your whole day. because this is what you're experiencing, until you get in that quiet place or wherever you feel comfortable, to get rid of it, like people would tell me I have OCD, when it comes to cleaning, and I didn't find it to be true. It's just that I always lived in a home where everything was in its place. So sometimes I'll go to my friend's house and I'll come through the door cleaning, because they have a mess going on and I just can't sit in there with that mess. So I would just, especially if I'm staying at night, and this is why I don't stay at some of my friends' house, because I wind up working harder visiting than I do when I'm at my own home. So I just stay at home. Or when I visit, I go to a hotel, because everybody lives differently. So when you got to be in that surroundings for a day or two, it can become very irritating when you see certain things. I'm not going to speak on the things that I see, but it can become very irritating, you know what I mean? So I'll get to it and clean it, and, in order for me to be comfortable. But now, if I was going there just to visit for a couple of hours, I ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, it's time for me to go now. It's your house, But I'm noticing a lot of people are fighting this OCD thing. And this is why I don't believe that it's true, that they just embedding it in your heads throughout social media. And y'all need to realize, what it really is and how to fight the feeling that you're overcoming. You're going to overcome it within a certain amount of time. Okay, if you fight these feelings, it's a normal thing, but it doesn't last long. Okay, and this comes from a lot of stress being around you, which the government has inflicted on us all. Okay. They conflicted I'm not saying it gave us the COVID, but the way things has been set up with them showing it all the time, all the people with the deaths. There's so much going on with the COVID can conflict your mind and feelings to act differently. Okay. Then it's this voting thing. Okay. All the murders throughout the COVID with the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, the protesting. All of this stuff can conflict stuff on your body and your mental health and give you a mental disorder. So this is what the government and the people has done to you if you're going through a mental disorder. Okay? So this is what I suggest. And I had talked to somebody yesterday, and they in a whole nother city. They was in Kansas, and they do the same thing. You have to tune it out. Okay? You have to tune out all this chaos, okay? Meaning get rid of the TV, get rid of the radio, and just let it go. Enough is enough, because they are doing too much. It's getting to the point now where people are going to actually start going out and killing people with this negative nonsense, because you're messing with people's minds, okay, with all of this chaos and all of this nonsense. And I'm just going to keep it real with y'all, because people are getting tired of it. Enough is enough, okay? 2020 has been through so much. It's unreal. Okay, we've been through so much and people are getting tired. And next you're going to start seeing snipers everywhere getting rid of you people that's causing all these protests and that's causing all of this nonsense, with this COVID, with this protesting and with this election. Enough is enough. Okay, I just want to throw that out there because people get tired. They don't want to hear this stuff no more, and y'all just keep going on and on and on and on and on with it. I've been in this world for 50 years, and this is the first year that I can say the day after election, everybody is still running their mouths about the election. We all know we have to wait for the votes to be counted. When the votes are counted, then we speak again. Shut the hell up. Let it rest. Y'all just doing too much. Compulsive behavior, mental disorders. Okay, y'all even have it and y'all not even paying attention. Okay, now, Allowing 60 seconds of your day to destroy everything in your life. This is what we're going to talk about. And being able to control your feelings. Anxiety. We spoke about that once before too on my podcast. Having anxiety. Because it all leads to a mental disorder. And this is why. Because you have this compulsive behavior. Then you start feeling uneasy. Okay? And now you want to have negative thoughts. Okay? That's not a normal behavior. That's like how some people can sit down and say have potato chips. And it could be one person that have a compulsive disorder. And they can't deal with the sound of the potato chips cracking. And the normal person would say, are you crazy? Everybody eats potato chips. You even eat them, so you can't stand it when you eat them. That's part of a compulsive behavior. People that clean a lot, compulsive behavior. People that can't stand bugs, compulsive behavior. It's several things, with compulsive behavior, but you don't listen to your compulsive behavior. Who's in control here? You're in control. Okay? So even if your compulsive behavior is telling you something, you tell it to shut up. Because it's not going to bother me. It's only bothering me right this second, and it's going to go away. That's what you tell your compulsive behavior. That's your feelings. Okay? The same with addiction. It's a compulsive behavior. You got to be able to recognize the compulsive behavior. Your mind is telling you need something in order for you to function. Okay? Compulsive behavior. People, we have to learn how to control our feelings, control our emotions. And this is where, in the Muslim religion, I love them because I don't want to be a Muslim, okay? Because I don't, and I told you about the all the different religions taking one key point of the way God wants us to live. But I don't believe in being fully covered every day. I just can't get with that. That's the one of the biggest things. I do know we're supposed to cover our head. You cover your head, but I just can't get with being fully covered. That thing, that bothers me. However, I do believe in the way they teach discipline. And I believe, I got a Quran sitting right on my nightstand, and I'm just be honest with you, I'll show you a picture later, because I deal with a lot of Muslims, okay, Arabic Muslims and American Muslims. So of course I'm going to have the Quran here in my home, and it's some things in there too I don't really believe in too much as well. However, and this comes from studying the different religions, and this is why I do this, because I wanted to see the key points in each religion, and then we still only praise the one God, So that's my theory of it. I may be a little different, y'all, but I still believe in God. I still pray to God every day. However, I do read different Bibles in order to see. I always tell y'all, this is a key thing right here. I always tell y'all, in order for you to see good, you have to see bad first. Okay? So, in order to recognize good. Okay? So, I recognize a lot of good with the Muslim religion. However, and they're very smart because they read a lot. I love Minister Farrakhan. He's awesome to me. I always listen to him, so with that being said, that's my opinion and how I feel about the Muslim religion. Like I said, they are very disciplined, and that's what they shoot for, being disciplined. And it helps a lot of people, I was taught discipline as a child, certain things I just couldn't do. It was taught in my home, and that's why I tell y'all that life starts at home. Okay. And if your parents are not right, you're not going to get what you need. And then this is where the religion comes in at. My people, they were disciplined people. We lived to have fun after we took care of our task. This is what we did. You know what I mean? It was no chaos. Everybody was disciplined. If there was a problem in the family, we all came together and we dealt with it. And that's how a family is supposed to be. After I went out and saw how other families were, because I thought my people was like, it was strange to me, you know what I mean? But then when I got to start interacting with other people's families, I was able to see why my family did what they did and how they did it, and we was able to continue to live life and have fun on a daily basis, like I said, when all our tasks were done, meaning if we had to go to work, go to school, if we had to clean the house, whatever the case may be, the tasks were done, and now we can all come together and have a little fun and have laughter, okay? And there was laughter in my house every single day. Every day we laughed, okay, for something. You may go to some people's house and they never laugh. They just arrogant, ignorant, ghetto, and everything is a problem. When you step through their door, everything is just an issue. Those are the miserable people, So that's why, when they say misery loves company, you get away from those type of people because they will conflict negative thoughts in your head and your mind. The world is shooting for now good vibes. You see all over the social media, you may see people writing, all I want is good vibes. I need good vibes today. There's good vibes. You may see people with T-shirts on it. I need good vibes because those are the ones that know about their emotions and how the negative energy can come into your life and ruin your whole, your whole everything. Whatever you're doing, it can be ruined from them negative vibes. So some people they live based on that as well. Me, I'm God. I pray, okay, and I ask God to surround me with positivity and good vibes. That's how I deal with my negative emotions, and I'm disciplined to God. So that's where my discipline comes in at. The first thing I do is I turn to God. Jehovah God, I need you right now because I'm going through this and I don't know how long it's going to last, but I need you to either cover me or get rid of it, and it works. It works for me. Everything works differently for everybody, but I have a lot of faith in God, so not everybody have the faith that I have. So I can't tell you to just pray. You have to gain that faith with God. You have to read. You have to understand the way he works, what he does. Because we don't always understand the way our minds think or our bodies, the way, the way things react. And, the chemical imbalances in our bodies. And a lot of that plays with the food, plays a part of what the foods that we eat and how we take care of our bodies as well. Having these negative thoughts, negative dreams, not praying, not meditating, this is where all of this stuff comes into play, people. When you constantly having negative thoughts about things, it can be, you want to slap somebody, every time you see this person, you just want to slap them, and I'm just using this as a example. You just ask God to get that feeling off you. I need to get rid of this feeling. You have to fight that feeling, and then it'll go away. But you have to be willing to deal with it in order for it to go away. Because we're going to have negative thoughts. Look at the world we're living in. you know? But you pray and get that negative thought out of your soul, you know? Or you learn to fight it. Now, when people's on medication, sometimes it's hard to fight because your brain supposed to have this chemical. Like I'm gonna use this for instance, and I think I told y'all this once before. I was going through a situation with my second husband, and I had just had a car accident. Okay, and the car accident really took over me mentally because I was a dancer. I went out to the clubs, and I tell you this all the time. I went out to the clubs to dance, and this is how people knew who Deja was or knew who Jackie was. And I couldn't do it no more. So it was like I lost a job. You know what I mean? You know how when you lose a job, you go through emotions for a few minutes and then you let it go? You know, because there's nothing you can do about it. So you say to yourself, you know. Matter of fact, and I'm going to speak about that too. And I'm going to go back to my, about me dancing. But you know how some people, like the post office killer. I don't know if y'all remember. I don't know if the people here in Charlotte know about that, but in New York, we had a guy that got fired from the post office. He left and he came back and he shot up the post office and killed a lot of people because he couldn't deal with his emotions. Okay. And this is why I'm bringing this up. You know, people, you never know if a person have a mental illness. Okay. And I'm going to say this here in Charlotte, you know, it's really hard to get therapy or get services when it comes to having mental illnesses, you know, or diagnosis. They just don't believe in it here. They allow the people to be crazy, and it's sad to me, you know, because you never know what a person is thinking inside. They could be okay today, but then tomorrow it could be something real serious, and they need somebody to talk to, or they need some medication to help put their brain in balance. Now, I was living in Buffalo, New York. So after the car accident, they wanted me to go to therapy because I used to cry a lot, you know, and they didn't understand why. I would go to the doctor and I'd be like, so am I going to get better? And it was like, no, only thing that can heal you is time if it can happen. You know, we don't see you being healed. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. How am I supposed to go back out and dance? I can't do this to my people. You know, they love seeing me out. I would just go out now and just stand there, you know, and say, hey, and they're like, well, why don't she stop dancing, you know? But this is what happened for people in Buffalo that didn't know. Yeah, I was in a car accident and it took a hold of my life. And this is why I have a fear of being in car accidents, okay, because I know what it did to my life. Okay, it stripped me of everything because of one person's thinking. Because I wasn't even driving a car. Because of the way they thought for that moment. I don't know what was going on in her brain. If she had a mental issue or if she was just being fast, you know. I don't know what was going on in her mind, but she destroyed my life from that 1 second. Okay? So that I just want to throw that out there. And she's listening. Yeah, this is what happened. Okay? And to this day, I'm still suffering. And it happened 20-something years ago. So yes, I do have a fear of me being in a car with a person that I don't know what's going on in their life and their minds. And at any given moment, they can make the wrong decision or the wrong choice. Okay. And it can destroy not only their lives, but mine as well, you know. But with that being said, the doctors gave me some medication to try to help relieve that mental pain. Okay. Because that's what it was. Mental pain, physical pain. I was going through physical pain and it was messing with my mental because I was used to doing something and it was like my job was stripped from me. I wasn't going to go out and shoot up nobody because there's something that happened to me, you know. So I had to deal with it, but it was really difficult. So they gave me these pills and they said, well, take these pills every day. Well, these pills is not what I really needed. I just needed to talk about it and maybe get hugged, be able to go out and be with my friends, and the people that I, normally see on a regular basis and just talk about it. But they gave me these pills. This is what the doctors always do. They want to give you some pills to subside your feelings, and you may not even have a chemical imbalance, but it'll give you one. Okay, and see, this is the things that they need to be aware of. This is why just expressing yourself and meditating, doing it God's way, okay, is the best way. Because once you start taking these medications, it start giving you all kinds of side effects. Okay, so for those that want to play the game of having OCD, for those that want to play the game of being compulsive, get rid of that game. Because that's not a game to play with. Because if you really don't have that chemical imbalance and you take medication, you can be subject, okay, to doing something harmful to yourself or others. Okay, and I was one of those that I was subject because I really didn't have a chemical imbalance, and they gave me a pill that they thought would help me, and it actually made it worse. Okay, and then on top of it, they didn't tell me that you couldn't smoke marijuana with these pills. People don't realize that. Sometimes the chemical imbalance of the pill and the marijuana can actually give you a terrible effect. And that's what it did to me. Okay? So when me and my husband was going through something, and I'm on this pill and I'm on marijuana at the same time, and I just snapped. I couldn't control my emotions. Okay? That's a bad thing when you can't control your emotions. I've never smoked weed after. I have never picked up a blunt after that incident in my life. Okay? I tried to kill myself. Okay? That compulsive behavior. But I couldn't control it because I was on a medication and I was on marijuana. So that taught me something. And being that I am type of person that analyze everything, I learned to read and understand why something happened. Okay, so this is why I don't deal with marijuana. If I do anything, I'm just going to be drinking. You know what I mean? And I try not to take any medication that's going to affect me negatively. I try not to take medication, period, and drink. Okay, because you still don't know the effects it's going to do to your inner body, So I'm very cautious about the things that I do. And I'm telling y'all these things because y'all need to be too. Okay. A lot of times when people are feeling negative emotions, sometimes they don't went to the doctor already. And the doctors didn't recognize that they really didn't have a chemical imbalance. They just really needed to talk to somebody and really get out their emotions and get advice to find out what's the next step. Somebody to tell them it's going to be okay, other than their family members. Sometimes this is what you need, okay? Some people create their own compulsive behaviors, okay? You know how people say, I'm not going to let nobody steal my joy today? Your joy is within you. So how can you allow somebody else to steal it? Okay, they may come with some negativity. You may have to address it. And you let it go. It's simple. So, these are things that we need to focus on, people. How can you allow 60 seconds of your day to destroy your whole day? Whether it's a compulsive behavior, whether it's just you, okay, and if you are having a compulsive behavior, learn to fight it. Learn to have discipline. Okay? And this is what we need to do. Everybody in the whole world. We have to learn to deal with our emotions and get rid of the feeling and move on. Because you can't allow something to stop you from everyday living. And I realize that the government has conflicted so much pain and so much problems on us, and they don't even realize it. But you have to let it go. There's times I get in the car and they be talking. I change the station. I just hit the button. That's why I like satellite radio. Shout out to satellite radio. Y'all don't talk too much. Y'all may have your little shows, but y'all don't talk a whole lot. And that's a beautiful thing. The people pay for y'all to air the music. And it's a beautiful thing, where on our regular radio, they're getting paid by ads, by companies that keep them alive. So it's totally different. But I rocks with the satellite radio because y'all don't have all that nonsense on there every day, all day. And, you want to listen to the music to relax your soul. And then you turn around and then you got to hear all this nonsense about the world. It can actually make people crazy, and I've seen some attitudes out here, and it's nothing you can really do about it because we all going through the same thing. When this COVID first started, I was real serious about these people standing 6 feet away because I didn't know what this thing was like. I didn't know what it was going to do. But now, we all have this thing where we still running up on people, putting our stuff down on the counters, because our hands are full. You don't want to touch the card, so you don't even get a card anymore. So you're getting everything in your hands. People just forgetting because of everyday life. I've had people run up on me and I'll look at them and they say, I'm so sorry. I know I'm not supposed to be this close to you, but I just wanted to sit this down, and I just look at them and smile. Well, they can't see me smile, but I nod my head. And, it's because we forget. We're forgetting because there's so much going on. They're throwing so much at us. So we have the tendency to forget. It's like my job. I walk in my job, they're telling us 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet. And we're looking at each other like, okay, but when we get to our destination, we're less than 6 feet apart. When we're helping one another, we're right next to each other. When our supervisors or our colleagues come through, they're standing right next to us. So you're playing with our minds. You know what I mean? I laugh at it, I just say, let me just stay my 6 feet until we get over here and then we can do what we do. You know what I mean? If we're going to catch this thing, we're going to catch this thing. It's nothing we can do because we're here. So this is why I tell people, make sure you keep your immune system built. But you can't be compulsive about that either. And so that's the thing. You got to have a balance with everything you do. A balance. This is how it works. Everything has to be on a balance. You can't overdo yourself with eating so much stuff that's going to build your immune system because you got to allow your body to be able to work on its own as well. Okay? So we can continue to have things to help build the immune system, but we just don't want to overdo it. Like they see me come to work. I usually have lemons in my water. I fell back. Okay? I usually take my vinegar and turmeric and stuff on a regular basis and ginger, but I fell back. I need to allow my body to get to a point where it can heal itself. And then I'll go back to it. You have to allow your body to be able to work on its own. The same with the compulsive behavior. This is why we were telling y'all that y'all need to fight it. Whatever y'all going through, you need to fight it. Whatever is bothering you, if it's bothering you that bad, move away for a moment, come back. If you just can't deal with it for that moment, because the feeling is not going to last long. Even if you just got to say a prayer for that moment just to get your mind off of it. It's not going to last for so long. And then that feeling is going to go away. Okay. Now, my behaviors, like I have some behaviors that, people don't understand. One, I was telling you about the car situation. I had that issue because I was physically in a problem, a car accident that could have killed me. Okay. And to this day, I get reminded every other day about that car accident because I deal with the pain. Okay. Second issue that I have, I don't like tall buildings. I used to love them. I used to love tall buildings. Skyscrapers is what we call them in New York. But once the World Trade took place, people, it really affected me. I was working in a hospital at the time. And when you're working in a hospital and you're seeing these dead people come through because of a plane hitting a building and the building fully collapsing, even though I wasn't down there when it collapsed, but we saw all of this stuff on TV and it was happening in our city, a place that we walked, when we go downtown and the building is no longer there because it collapsed because of two planes hitting it. It was serious to me. Serious. So yes, I had this fear of living in tall skyscraper buildings. I was brought up in a house. I've always been around houses, and that's where I will remain. My daughter has this thing, she wants to live in a skyscraper. And I had to give her some points yesterday about why I don't want to live in a skyscraper or a big building. Not saying that it's going to happen again, but we just don't know, And I hate to, be a barrier of bad news to y'all for those that don't know what happened back when the World Trade, and it's just history right now. But when you physically been through something, you have a tendency to take it serious. Just like with hurricanes, people watch me get prepared for a hurricane because I've been in several hurricanes. I know what it can do to people. I know what it can do to their homes. I know what it can do to their lives because I've been through several hurricanes. Here in Charlotte, our hurricanes is like very, very minor, but I still prepare myself because you just never know. However, they laugh at me because they say, well, why is she doing all this? It's just a hurricane. It's just a hurricane because you've never been in a real hurricane. If you ever lived in Maryland or ever lived in Florida, or ever lived on the shore, you know what it's like to be in a real hurricane. When God is coming through and he is doing his work and you must sit still. Okay? And all of that plays a part of discipline. Listening, following instructions. When I was in Maryland, they taught us. Okay? They taught us. If you don't listen, and shout out to the mayor and not mayor. Well, the mayor, I think it's the mayor in Jersey. He got on the TV and he told them, listen here, y'all know we right off the water. Now, if y'all don't listen, you're gonna die. He just kept it real with them, and I loved him for that. You know what I mean? Even though he wasn't my mayor, but he kept it real with them. This is the facts, people. If you don't want to be disciplined and listen to what I'm telling you to do, you're going to die. That's the end result. So you better pay attention and listen to me. Your choice, your world. So I've been disciplined before I even came to North Carolina. I was disciplined back in Buffalo. Okay? Back as a child. Because this is what my people taught me. And discipline plays a big part in life. If you're not disciplined, you're going to have problems in life. And that's just what it is. You have to learn to discipline yourself. If your parents didn't give it to you. And you can tell because some of these parents are not disciplined. And you look at them and some of the things that they say out their mouth, some of the things that they do, and you're looking at them like, really? And they be old. Some of them be old. And you're looking at them like, okay, we know you was raised differently. We're going to have to excuse you because you have issues that you may think is normal, but it's not, because not the rest of the world lives like that. But if you really do have OCD or think that you have OCD or any other mental illness, make sure you get help. There's suicide lines all over, people. There's mental health numbers all over. Do they work here in Charlotte? No. That's why we got to get to the bottom of it. However, New York, Maryland, y'all big on it. Okay? If anybody from Maryland or New York is listening, y'all know what to do. Pick up the phone. Y'all get the help that y'all need. In those states that don't have that, I feel sorry for y'all, and y'all need to get with y'all governors and mayors to get it done right. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja. And I'm out. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.